Hello everybody out there in Speed Gaming land, and welcome to the Speed Gaming presentation of the Ultimate Week of the War for Hyrule. This is a Link to the Past randomizer group, tournament, event thing, whatever you want to call it. This is the second of 4 matches this weekend. This is going to be cross keys. We're going to feature 2 runners for you today, latebit for the Hyrule Guard and Soyhr for Ganons Forces. I'm MyDM. I'm joined by Angles on the call today of this cross keys game. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. It's gonna be interesting to see which of these two armies wins this one. However, I must say, I have been a part of Hyrule Guard. I'm looking at the sign-ups, and there is a lot more Hyrule Guard players that have signed up for this one. So I don't know what the Ganons Forces are doing over there.
Well, that's for them to know and us to find out, maybe. But yeah, we've got this game, and then we've got 2 games tomorrow in Flukies at 1 p.m. Eastern, and the very last game of the whole set, where the Hyrule Guard will assault the pyramid in All Dungeons Key Sanity. That's going to happen at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. We've already got commentators scheduled for that. You can look for it on one of these Speed Gaming channels. But that's then. This is now. We are just a minute or so away from some cross keys action.
Yeah, absolutely. And today the Ganon Forces are fighting to basically make it harder for the Hyrule Guard to get that path to the Pyramid of Power. But yeah, these 2 players that we have in front of us, they are really good.
Late-bit Challenge Cup champion from a couple of years back. Soyhr maybe a bit more of an up-and-comer, but definitely been putting in the work. He, I think, was 8th out of the Slater runners for Game 1 today. Here he is gonna tackle this entrance randomizer. Yeah, the late-bit with the message, "This game stinks," kind of the calling card of late-bit, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as I said, late bit Challenge Cup winner not too long ago in Soyhr. We have seen around for a while now. It's starting to really pick up steam and momentum. So really interested to see what they are, both of them are gonna give us. But we have seen a countdown in the race chat, so we're just waiting for the delay to catch up, and then we're gonna get started with the cross keys. Now, if there are anyone who doesn't know what cross keys is, it is one of the more popular one when it comes to the Link to a Past randomizer, where, of course, the items and stuff like that are shuffled as normal, but we also have the keys and the locations, the entrances of everything. So you might be heading into Eastern Palace, and suddenly you have the Hera over there for some reason.
Or you walk into what you're expecting to be a shop and you want to buy bombs, and instead it's Misery Mire, and you get to walk right back out because you don't have boots or a hookshot yet.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are seeing Soyhr starting out in Link's house. Now it's just the compass there. One of the normal things we see when it comes to start of cross keys is normally the sanctuary, just to check where that entrance is, because in general, it is a higher chance of you getting items out of the drop-down entrances. So, but yeah, it is so fine. We are seeing Sophie trying to get some bomb. There's on the prices obtained. Unfortunately, it did take a little bit of damage there, so he sets the price packs for him.
Yeah, he'll land on a tier 2 tree pole if he keeps this up, which is fine. I mean, there are 3 tiers of tree poles. Those are also randomized, so there's not any pre-existing guarantee of what he might get from any of those.
Yeah. And we already found one of the Hyrule Castle's entrances in the Lake Shop, which is a pretty good one, to be fair. A little bit of an early one. There are some items you can get here. Well, mainly one, unless you want to head over through the dark rooms to Dark Cross to try to get that one, which can be a little bit hard when you don't have a way to navigate.
Now, Soyhr has discovered that the guards are in the high value pool. There is an 8 bomb in that. I think he's still 2 prizes away from it. Yeah, now it's his next prize, so he needs to find a way to kill one more guard here if he really wants, and then he'll have explosives, and he could go on through to the back of escape. It would be out of logic without the Hyrule Castle small key, but it's still something that he could do.
Yeah. Late bit, they're finding the big key to a Hera over at very near Eastern area, which is pretty good. And we are seeing a little bit of a difference in how these players tackle cross keys. We see Late bit doesn't really want to follow connectors immediately, while Soyhr doing the opposite, and a swamp over there in Shahatlasat.
That is one thing that you will see with cross keys in general, is everybody has their own spin on how to play. Now, there's probably something of a meta that exists, but still, by and large, if you watch 10 different people run the same siege, you're going to see some fairly substantial differences in just the choices of what they want to do and when.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, one part of a spectacle rock cave there in Eastern Palace, and there we have those 8 bomb drops that Soyhr was craving to get.
And it doesn't look like he wanted to use it to go further in the escape sequence. He just wants it for the convenience of going around. If he happens to find something like Chicken Hut, then he can go ahead and make the check.
Yeah, that's very fair enough. And both of the other Hyrule Castle entrances, they are leading up the mountain on opposite side. That is really, really good connector.
Yeah, the main entrance is conveniently placed, and then you can just kind of come out the other two in really useful locations. And here's one of those places where Soyhr was hoping to have those bombs for. We've got Mini Moldorm Cave. If he hadn't had bombs, he wouldn't have had any weapon for this, but he took the time to go ahead and farm those up. He'll spend half of them. Let's see if it's worthwhile for him.
Yeah, at the same time, Latebit finding out that Sanctuary is at the Good Ferry today.
Yeah, that's a place for it. Not really a convenient one. Oh, yeah, I think Soyr's going to be happy that he spent the time farming those bombs up. There are the boots out of Mini Moldorm Cave up on the mountain.
Yeah, and based on what we are seeing in a Latebit route here, it's going to take him at least 20 minutes before he's probably even thinking about following the Hyrule Castle little connectors.
Yeah, unless there's another connector that brings him up onto the mountain fairly soon, you would have to think that he's not going to get those boots for, like you said, a hot 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. And the big bomb there, Mr. Mire and Turtle Rock being the 5/6s today. That is potentially not nice for runners. Oh, we have the old man there for Soyhr. That was in one of the Spectacle Rock entrances. So potential that could be a connector for Latebit to get up there. But that is gonna take going through a dark room as well, which might not be wanted to do this early on.
Yeah, Latebit finds a 5-item cave of his own, though. He did some bomb farming at the Grove, and now Blind's Hut seems to have moved ever so slightly. It's in the south of the village instead of the north.
Yeah, just shifting over a little bit. Oh, well, there's one of those important Turtle Rock keys, and Soyhr is gonna follow that old man connector. This could give us huge information. Send for Latebit. Not directly for him, but indirectly for us to him. And ooh, okay, he's not gonna be able to use that.
Yeah, Latebit's not going to find his way up the mountain that way, that's for sure.
But a very good one once Soyhr finds a Mire.
Yeah, we've got the back of Skull Woods up there. Now, no knowledge yet of whether this is a pendant or a crystal, but still, it's a good thing to know about, relatively easy to work with, and this first item, this Underbridge item, is... well, it's in logic once we have a pearl.
Oh, the Smith was also slightly shifted over with the library this time around. I do like one thing though when it comes to Latebit's route here, that is checking the drop downs. As I said earlier, it will tell you where it is almost guaranteed that they are gonna give you an item. But you're also getting to know where the Ganon one is early, so that you can just jump down them. You don't generally lose too much just dropping into them in that way. And of course we get to miss what was more on that dark mountain over there because of our cross-dimensional connection to Hyrule not being the best today. We do find a glove though for latebit and flippers as well. A hookshot as well, oh my god!
Wow, Johnny wasn't holding out on anybody today. That is the care package to get you going, isn't it?
Yeah, and that was in a very early location as well, sitting inside the shop in CAC. We're gonna expect Soyhr to get there soon.
Yeah, it seems... well, I was about to say that it seems reasonably likely that he could just kind of make that left-hand turn and start heading in the general direction of the village, but he's going to hula-han instead.
Fairly fine, to be honest, getting those early rupees. There's gonna be a... If latebit wants to get those rupees, he's gonna have to use that glove. The near sank could drop down, which is not... you might not be thinking about when you're heading over there. Oh, and latebit finds Turtle Rock Bridge. That is also a good early one.
Probably not going to want to hula-han anymore.
Nope.
Definitely not going to want to hula-han anymore.
Yeah, those 300s are helping him.
And an additional heart container. You're sure not going to turn that down in the early game. Those can be a little dicey to come by in the early game and entrance rando particularly.
Yeah, absolutely. It could be potential very hard connectors you have to navigate through, and just having those little bit of extra hearts is gonna help you a lot. Yeah, with that hookshot, latebit is gonna rush to Hookshot Cave. And sitting inside that right race game, brother. Finding himself one GT key. It depends on how early GT is today. And the mushroom there as well. Blue mail? Okay, CAC area is pretty good this time around.
Interesting that latebit doesn't want to see where this goes just yet, but I guess it's easy enough to get to. You can just safe quit the house and run over if you really want to.
I'm gonna assume that he just doesn't want to be locked in Dark World. There are a few entrances that will do that to you, so maybe trying to play a little bit defensive and not having to worry about that. But Bushcrab giving bombs today.
Pod will also give you some bombs if you really want to go through with it.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like Soyhr has found any small keys for this dungeon yet, but that won't prevent him from getting at least one and as many as 3 checks done here.
Yeah. No, it's a big key to Scott Woods from Bolomers, and they have the big key to Death at first check in Pod as well. Ooh, you know what that means now that we have seen what Cackwell is?
Do we have a bat at the pyramid?
We have a bat at the pyramid. That can be quite irritating. Well, Soyhr just find himself a small key to Pod from Uncle.
That, I suppose, is a place for that.
And there's a small key to Thieves Town as well.
We certainly don't mind having those before finding Thieves Town at all.
Yeah. So for immediately dipping back in. That is fair enough. There are 2 more checks in here for him. But yeah, nothing on Desert Tours today.
That'll be a little peace of mind for latebit here in another 10 minutes or so when he finally stumbles upon those boots.
Yeah.
Oh, Soyhr is going to go for the right side hover. Yeah. Give it a second shot? Nope.
No.
Sawyer's still on 3 hearts. You can kind of understand not wanting to get too dicey with that.
Yeah. Oh wow, and now the big key, this time to Ice Palace. A lot of big keys being discovered early in this seed.
Yeah, and some of the more nominally useless ones, quote-unquote, we got the Skullwoods and the Ice already, neither of which are required to beat their dungeons.
Yeah. Heading down to Mushroom Spot now. Just a big 20 this time around, so neither of our players are gonna equip that. Yeah, so far, except for speed, the boost hasn't really given Soyhr anything.
Yeah, it's tough to turn down that movement advantage, though. There is a lot to be said for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, it can make tracking a little more difficult in the early game, so it's not a completely unalloyed positive in something like cross keys.
Yeah.
Depending on how good you are at tracking entrances, I suppose.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, both of our runners now checking what the other one has already checked. But Soyhr is gonna follow this connector that latebit hadn't done yet.
Yeah, it largely feels like Soyhr is following what I call the Jeju school of entrance randomizer. You see a connector, you take a connector.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is... Yeah, if you want to play a little bit more defensive, that is fair enough. And that connector that latebit skipped in CAC would have led up to a mountain. So, oh yeah, missing yet another chance to get a lot of entrances. Oh, there we have GT. Unfortunately, we'll only be able to get 3 of the items.
Yeah, but this is another one of those chances for Sawyer's boots to pay out.
Yeah, absolutely. A map to Hera.
A little map knowledge isn't the worst thing in the world, but it's not really the kind of thing that you're really hoping to find.
And just a 20 rupee from Torch as well.
So again, aside from the sheer movement, it looks like latebit is kind of getting bailed out with the boots not leading to anything just yet.
Yeah. There are some places where that movement is going to be a lot better. For example, getting over to Iceland Cave is maybe something that our run is going to have to do soon. And having boots for that whole stretch is definitely going to save you half a minute. So if we're heading back to CAC. And latebit here being able to check an entrance that Soyhr couldn't do earlier because of those gloves. Getting another pod key.
Yeah, the next logical breakpoint with those pod keys is at 4. Now that doesn't prevent latebit from just taking that and going to the back if he really wants to, but it feels like he's on the hunt for something else right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And there is bat at Sank, which means that we have Weld today on Pyramid.
Ooh.
Which is always fun and definitely something that you want when you run this game. Kappa.
Well, all of a sudden, instead of 4 items, the GT Climb functionally has 9. That's not terrible if you ascribe to the idea that density means something.
Yeah. We had a mushroom being turned in here by latebit, as well as the Sikid check that we saw him checking what it was earlier. So that's fine. A little bit of love from Sikid.
Yeah, and you can tell just by looking at the health pools how differently these two have routed the early game here, 17 minutes in.
Yeah, absolutely. 4 hearts sitting on Soyhr and 7 on latebit. So we're probably seeing latebit now heading south shore. It is an undiscovered area so far. Yeah, so we have found both the bumper cave connectors, so we're not going to have to worry about that today. We've seen Sophie starting with the top.
Yeah, having not found the hookshot yet, he doesn't really have a good answer to that red hard hat beetle. He can use a bomb on it, and that's okay, I guess, but it's not really convenient.
Yeah. Booster is gonna help him just getting to these chests. Yeah, we're seeing latebit heading over to the rest of the east and heading back actually to that area. He was here earlier, so definitely looking for something good over here. There was something I must have missed that was here then. Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, tough to turn down Paradox Cave, right? 7 items?
Yeah, why not? And hookshot is great for eliminating Minimordorm, so why not? Oh, they have Titans.
Wow, early mitts in an entrance rando, that's rather uncommon in my experience.
Yeah, absolutely. So if we're finding also the money cave now, that is Hype Cave. And also on the pod key there, red fire rod.
Yeah, Fire Rod's pretty good. It seems like Late Bit's kind of landing on all of the firepower, as it were, and that Moon Pearl is going to give him a little more confidence in going through connectors, perhaps.
Yeah, this might also take a while for Soyhr to find as well, because remember where that paddock is. We saw Soyhr dipping away from checking them when he found Hyrule Castle, so might be just a little while before finding it, unless he finds one of the other ones. And yeah, one of them is in Dark World, so that is not gonna be discovered.
Well, I think that was one that Soyhr had seen. Now, it doesn't really help him, but yeah, that's also the side of it that's really inconvenient.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the tavern connector didn't lead to anything either. It just led to a Dark World, so Soyhr not gonna be able to use that. And latebit really wants to find something over in desert area.
Well, he's got a glove. He can clean up the entire 3-cave sweep of this side of the world.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about the fact that he didn't even say damn on his way over here. He just immediately just gunned over this direction. Oh, that sounds like it was that one, the hard one of the dark connectors. The exit of Death Mountain, as some people would say. Oh, an Eastern being found there over at Agahnim.
And latebit's gonna say no to it.
Fair enough. Bombos on Ledge Day.
Alright, you can either pop out of a connector there, or you can eventually get a flute and a mirror and get there from the Mire area. It's good to know where it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Some good information. With Dark Shashla there on the South Shore Ferry. Doesn't give us anything, but information nonetheless. Oh, we're gonna see where Hookshot Cave takes us today then. The other side, hopefully.
Yeah, it seems in the early going that Soyhr has been a lot more proactive about going through these connectors, so I'm expecting we'll see what the other side is.
But yeah, it's two entirely different playstyles. So one of them is playing more around spheres. There's 0, 0, 1 and that sort of stuff, while the other one is just trying to get as much information as possible of where everything, what sort of entrances you can get to immediately. Item spheres versus entrance spheres, as some would say. And there's a Hasela at the Lake Hylia cave.
Yeah, Green Pendant Swamp Palace, says Sahasrul. That's a place you can go if you want a green pendant.
Yeah. And Sahasrul also being the god of that, apparently having that small key in the back.
I lost my thing there, but I do have the key for it. Okay, sure, old man. That makes sense.
Well, he's a sage, so maybe that's why he has it. And funny enough, the swamp is where his previous house was, so that is something as well. Ooh, Aga Tower, and we're gonna see latebit checking at least the first test in here. Can only get one now, but might just be lucky in getting the key here.
He doesn't really want to spend his magic, but now these guys are causing other problems.
Well, he handled it very good though. Some bomb refills for him though, for his trouble. Yeah, he's gonna head up to Soyhr next. That makes sense. He has plenty of rupees. Could also maybe check. Nope, he's not. He's gonna head up there instead. He's going back to pod. Maybe. No. Oh, is he finally gonna take some connectors?
It may finally be connector o'clock for latebit. Soyhr gets the I Spy on that Bombos medallion. Oh no, latebit has his mitts now. He's just gonna go in the dark world like a sensible person.
Yeah. 7 hearts, blue mail. He will be able to run around here without too much problem. He even has the hookshot to stun the enemies if they get too annoying.
Yeah, and he's got this fire rod, so...
Oh my god!
Oh, that is unkind, video game. Nice French vanilla bow in Eastern Palace. Just show us the big key to this dungeon while you're at it.
Well, now I don't know if you jinxed it or if you blessed Soyhr. We have to wait and see. Makes sense that latebit decides to head here, though. The first thing getting to Dark World, it is some guaranteed items you can get here.
That, and he does have the fire rod, so he can go ahead and make the check in the back. And the vanilla big key location in Skullwoods has the Cane of Samaria. Well, it's,
usually the item you want to have to check this one.
Man, he's a lamp away from having a pretty decent chunk of Turtle Rock available to him, logically.
Oh,
no, he could just walk in there and do it anyway. And I'm pretty sure latebit knows how to hold up in the Dark Samaria maze, but you never know.
Ooh, latebit is gonna have to do drop downs to get to the main item locations when it comes to Skullwoods. Both of the middle path entrances are in the beginning. So, okay, he did one and discovered that if he decided to do drop downs to check those, he would have to save and quit to get back to checking the other Dark World entrances. So he's just gonna leave it for later.
That is what we like to call a bad Skullwoods.
Yeah.
Small key to Misery Mire in the dark. That's not the most amazing thing in the world, but now Soyhr has it.
Yeah. There's Ice Palace discovered in Wilderness of Outcast in Sea House.
Not clearable with no hammer at the moment, but you have the big key and the hookshot and the Samaria to otherwise put things in logic. One small key really does the trick.
Yeah. The potential of a lot of items there being can be discovered once he gets that small key. A mimic cave there in Brewery.
Yeah, speaking of things that require the hammer, so we've got a hammer-locked entrance and a dungeon and a cave with hammer-locked items in them in Thieves Town area.
Yeah. Absolutely. That is not what you want to see when you do your initial check through. We are going to assume that the hammer is going to be found soon, though.
Yeah, at the very least, you're thinking, well, all of these hammer things are relatively close to one another. It makes it easy to come back to and say, I found the hammer and I've got a density of hammer checks.
Yeah.
Classic dig game, 30 digs or bust.
Yeah. There is a lot of digs required today. There it is, a piece of heart. latebit is just gonna say no to that. And stun price being in 20s today is also a very nice thing. And there's the library with the shield. Not surprised to see latebit just skipping that.
Yeah, once again, the lack of boots is only been movement. All of the boots-related checks not doing anything.
Oh, I didn't even think for that reason. I was more thinking of he had already done the laser bridge, so doesn't need to worry about any shields upgrades. Yeah, we have the world tour being done by latebit as well, bringing the Smith with him. We have discovered Smith, so that is all fine with him bringing him along. We have to see though if he completes it. He could just head over to pod area, and that will make the frog disappear. So he could do Kiki if he wanted to do that. He has the rupees for that, and still having leftovers for Sora if that is one check you want to do soon. Yeah, with that bow, Soyhr is gonna head over back to pod, then do a bow locked side.
Yeah, between the bow and the additional small key, he can get 2 items here, and then what if he wants to hammer jump to 5 more in the back?
I mean, who knows? We did find a French vanilla bow. Maybe a hammer is French vanilla as well. And we found Greg over there in the Ice Rod Cave. Alright, nothing on both side. There's Hera sitting in where the bomb shop would be. A nice defensive item in Cape.
Yeah, it's tough to turn down a safety when you're already in the same room as it.
Yeah. And unfortunately, latebit having to use bombs here if you want to flick the switch that way. And getting a green go for it though, so that is fine. Does not want to head up though. That is, he doesn't want to head up yet.
Well, he could get one more check, but he doesn't have a weapon that will hurt the boss, and he doesn't have the big key, so one more check is... Or no, he does have the big key. That's a little more interesting, because that is logical.
Yeah.
Because you can just respawn the pots in the Beatles room to get through.
Mm-hmm.
Or you've got a hookshot. You can even Hera pot if you are so inclined.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't see anything being in U-turn there for Soyhr. He did find a small key in the turtle room, so was able to check everything in the back. He just needs to do a hammer jump if you want to check the 2 in the maze. Can't check the big chest, unfortunately, but you know. We are setting up the hammer jump. Red mail. He's gonna skip that. I would grab a red mail if it is that accessible.
Yeah, but he's still in the situation where no mirror, you kind of want to be able to death warp out of certain situations. I can see turning down red mail right now.
Yeah. And what we're talking about, Potion Shop was also discovered there in Dark Ice Rod Cave. And latebit did turn in that mushroom earlier. Unfortunately, only a piece of heart, but still, knowing where the potion shop is still pretty good if you want to do some fill-ups of those bottles. Fortunately, not in the easiest accessible location, though.
Yeah, it seems unlikely that we're going to see more of that. Oh, and Soyhr is not going to get the top check in Dark Maze. The Kodongo says no.
Yeah, it can be nasty. See there. This is actually connected that latebit is gonna shake. So money pretty good connector. Generally. With that small key to Turtle Rock, that can be important later on.
Yeah, between our runners, I think we've seen all of those now.
Yeah, we have. Soyhr is the one currently leading in the amount of keys, and there we have the way to get that Quake medallion.
Yeah, and that's one of those connectors that you want to kind of keep in the back of your mind. You're not going to mark that one off just yet, because when you get a mirror, you can check the Light World cave there.
Yeah. I've already seen one of those, that one being laser breezes. I don't remember which connector it was to get to it. It might be the one in front of Tavern. We have another connector that latebit is gonna follow, and it takes him... Okay, that is cool. Mini cave. But that's one of the connectors that could be having Mire requirement gone. And so we're also getting that information about Green Pendant.
And that Swamp Palace small key, which is probably more important.
Yeah. And at some point, Soyhr finds himself a sword. It was under the bridge. Okay, thank you, Seth. That is a very good find for him. And a piece of heart sitting on Soyhr ledge. That is not gonna be picked up. I mean, Soyhr could do it with splash still. Oh, it doesn't even need splash deletion actually, so... Yeah, probably not gonna be picked up. Alright, Scamfish, what do you have for us today?
We're still missing a lot of things.
Ooh.
Okay, all those dark connectors just became nice and logical. Yeah. That's not nothing.
Soyhr probably wishing that he had that, I don't know, 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, it makes dodging those Kodongos just a little easier, doesn't it?
Yep. And there we have powder from our friendly neighbor Catfish.
I suppose that's close to Quake in the menu, so we'll count it.
Yeah. And Soyhr is going to be our first runner checking the items here in Hyrule Castle during the escape sequence, so that's cool. Or is it technically during the rescue sequence?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Of course, this is an open mode, so the princess isn't here.
And big hit to Turtle Rock sitting there.
Okay, that's a pretty good one to have, particularly before you just kind of happen to land on TR East.
Yep. And Smith turns out that they are cartographers today.
Yeah, you get a little more information. This isn't terrible.
Unfortunately, the information that was given was GT.
Yeah, that's a little more terrible.
It was Hookshot that took us to that location I was thinking of earlier.
Oh, speaking of GT, Soyhr has discovered something interesting. The big key to GT, locked by the Hyrule Castle small.
Ooh, that is very interesting knowledge.
Depending on what the key logic is for climbing, I mean, he's got a bow, he's got fire, he's got the GT big. This is...
Yeah, also has a sword even to help him out defeating the enemies in there, so... Yeah, that might be something to think about.
Yeah, that GT climb suddenly looks just a little more interesting.
At the same time, latebit have found its way over to Mire, and we need a Quake Medallion today to get into it. And ooh, look at that. Desert Main,
huh?
Sitting in the shop, one of the Mire entrances. And Soyhr taking a death there in the Dark Cross.
Yeah, he's death warping out of Dark Cross. I'm not sure where it is he intends to go next, but he pretty clearly intentionally took about 5 hearts of damage off of this green guard here in the middle before he ever went back there.
Yeah, I wasn't able to catch if he had gotten the item or not, so I was a little bit worried there for a second. And yeah, latebit actually did have Quake, so we'll be able to check what the Mr. My entrance is. We're also looking for where the old man is. And there we have him. So Sophie's gonna get the save and quit, the old man save and quit, which is fair enough. He has 2 good entrances.
Not only that, but he'll go ahead and hand you an item for the trouble of carrying him back to what's usually his home cave.
Yeah. Okay, so race game left is where the... I'm blanking now. Where was which connector was he in? Desert left, right. Fortunately, it doesn't look like there was anything in race game because that was a quick save and quit away from there.
That was one that I think Soyhr had sight checked earlier and had seen was nothing. I think it was maybe 20 rupees or something.
Ah, gotcha.
It looks like Soyhr is finally getting over here to these Eastern Palace entrances, so he's going to get to his Moon Pearl here in the next handful of minutes.
Yeah, fair enough. He has been checking essentially everything else in Light World, and we're getting some information there. Eastern Palace has a crystal, while Hera, which is right now the one palace that Soyhr could defeat, unfortunately has a pendant in this seed. And it's not one of the good ones. latebit is gonna get that GT big key as well. But he does have Red Cane and Fire Rod, so he could check right side once he finds GT.
Yeah, once he gets this GT big key, it would give him another check down there in the basement that he does have access to thanks to those items you mentioned. So that it wouldn't entirely surprise me to see the play over to GT from latebit here in the fairly near future.
Yeah, and remember, he's right now in Hyrule Castle. It was Hyrule Castle main that takes you to that southern mountain where GT is, so could very easily just happen to stumble upon it very shortly. That is the entrance that he's gonna walk through to check out.
Yeah, he's also got the Mitz, so he's going to check this Mitz locked entrance. It's just Fairy Cave.
Yeah. Almost vanilla. Would it be boot for latebit? Maybe.
Yeah, this would be a bit of a spicy Ice Armos play for latebit right now, given his current equipment set.
He's going for it though. He has cape, so can do the tile room here very easy as well.
Yeah, he can get tile room on through compass room, and I'm just thinking ahead. The Cane of Samaria Armos fight is not one of the more commonly seen Armos fights in the game.
Yeah, definitely not. Don't, he has a green goo, we know that, so he will be able to fill up his magic. I don't know if that is enough though.
Yeah, really, I'm just hoping that there's going to be another sword or the other bow or something here for him.
Yeah. This ends his eye. Here's of the 3 more swords we need to find. I wouldn't also be surprised if Hammer is here on the right side. Yeah, Soyhr has now also headed into Dark World, so he's gonna get those checks out on the way as well. There's Mire, so that's good.
That is a really nice item to have before you've done a ton of Dark World.
Latebit has done a very big circle around Dark World, though.
He's done a decent chunk of it. It also gives him... he does have that connector onto the top of the Dark World bumper cave.
Mm-hmm.
That he can take and mirror over.
Yeah. This statue here can be irritating at times as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure who designed this and what they were thinking at the time, but that is not easy.
Yeah.
Most of the tricks that this game actually expects you to do are reasonably straightforward. That one is not so much.
Yeah. So we might see Latebit checking the big chest before dropping down. Yeah, that is a smart thing to do here. It's not entirely sure that he will be able to. That is an easier item though to take care of Armos. Yeah, he's gonna have to do the bomb jump here to get across as well. To be fair, he had 5 rolls, so he could use that, but want to save a little bit of that magic. And there we have a Castle Tower key.
Gets one hit, now he's gonna have to go get the green potion out.
He might have hoped that that was more than one tick. And he's out of magic, so he's gonna have to do bomb strats now. That is even worse when it comes to Armos. He's dodging it pretty fair though.
Yeah, he's intentionally taking these hits to make sure that the bombs land, because he knows that he doesn't have much leeway, if he has any leeway at all.
Ooh, getting close.
Oh, he got it. Wow.
Can we get a single yeast in the chat for Latebit there? He was fortunate that only gave him a bottle though.
Yeah, he gets style points for that one though. We'll find a way to count those in the race room later.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, having an almost high five from our players there.
Yeah, one using the hook shot to head west, one using the hook shot to head east. It looks like Soyhr is probably going to go ahead and land back on GT here.
Yeah. He has a way easier fight in front of him though.
He very much does. And latebit finally has his boots. It only took 51 minutes. Soyr's had those for, what, 40 minutes? Ish?
Yeah. You can see red cane strats from Soyhr when it comes to these tiles. Which is fair enough, that is a very nice strat to do.
Yep, unlike latebit, he doesn't have that cape yet, so that needs to go to an alternate strategy.
Yeah, comparison, he doesn't need the magic as much as latebit, so you can just use the red cane here. And yeah, latebit using the hookshot to be able to navigate through the old man rescue. Did we see Soyhr? Did we see latebit opening actually the big chest? I don't think he did. He wasn't
did.
even in that area. Oh, okay, he was. Okay, fair enough. That's nice little magic refill for Soyhr.
Yeah, the Gibdos being in the magic pool is pretty handy right about now.
Yep.
Latebit sees that side of Hyrule Castle, and that's probably where you have that sinking oh no feeling of, my opponent probably just came up here and did the things that I'm doing now 20 minutes ago at least.
Yeah, absolutely.
Soyr's health situation is not entirely ideal here. Yeah, I do wonder with that singular Hyrule Castle small, that both of our runners have already been in there for the first item. I wonder if either of them have any designs whatsoever on going back and checking that second chest sometime soon.
Probably not. I would assume that they might be thinking of a few other locations first. Mainly TR, as we see latebit discovering the big chest of that in Hera. They can pretty much check everything else except for the boss.
You saw that hover there on the save and quit menu by latebit, he says, or rather by Soyhr, he says, do I want to hang around? Yes, no, maybe, no.
Was considering doing the climb.
It may still be considering doing the climb, he just wanted some hit points back first. Not the cleanest Mimics 2 in the world, mostly because Soyhr ran out of arrows there and had to pick up the pot rather than immediately killing the second Mimic. Yeah, running through here with Cane of Perna on is very questionable, but I understand when you're on one hit point, you kind of want to survive. Because if you can just live through this, there's a refill room.
Yeah. And there we have Spiral Cave. We're gonna see a quick mirror though first for late piece. We can check this one before heading there though, which is fair enough. You're gonna be leaving that area, and that is Mystery Mire.
Oh, all right. I don't think that latebit has... Yeah, he doesn't have any of the small keys for this yet, but you've got fire. You can make it work.
Yeah. We'll not be able to do the quick route because no small key, but still get essentially everything in here. Except for, of course, big system bots. We don't have the big key yet. And the quick way to route this place is doing the fire the locked ones first. With coming here with a small key, but yeah. Can't do it today, unfortunately.
Now, this is going to be another bit of a dicey fight for Soyhr. He's now out of magic, and he's got Fighter Sword, and... Oh, he still had that green? I thought he burned that. Or, no, latebit burned that. Never mind.
Yeah, it was latebit. Oh, that was so close on missing that one of those fire rod shots there in the end. But yeah, was able to do it, and does have enough red magic for wrist robes, but not for the torsos. So I don't know if he wants to use the red cane here.
I think he'll be okay, but he's going to have to pick up both of the magic pots and torches. Oh, Wizrobes are... Right, they're in the same pack as guards, and that's the high-value variety pack. So the next thing he has drop in that, assuming that one of these four drops something, is full magic. Yep. Easy game.
Yeah. Why were we even worried?
Because I'm not playing, so I forgot what prize pack the guards and the Wizrobes were in. That's the kind of thing I pay a lot more attention to when I've actually got the controller in my hand, for some reason. Probably because it actually matters to me then.
Yeah. I didn't even learn it when I started running, so I never got that information in general. Well, first 2-6 are nothing at the top here. There's a red boomerang.
It's a rang. If you want a rang, that's one of them.
It is a bad one, though.
It's definitely not the blue one.
Second, the Castle Tower key was discovered in Mystery Mire. That is an unrequired key today, because we do know that Uncle was at Lambiak, so we don't need to defeat Aga today. That is everything in Mire, so nothing really of interest over there.
And just some bombs in the ultimate chest of the game. So Soyr's going to go on and gain access to the well by defeating Aga 2.
Yeah. Also known as the Math Wizard. Teasing you all about algebra. And
ooh, our tracker Pixcalibur is correcting us on that. There was something found in Mire. I'm pretty sure latebit's happy to have that bow.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Okay, so if we got a double. Another double. A single. And there we go, I got 2 dead. He will get access to Cakwell.
Which Soyhr is going to hope has better things in it than the actual GT Climb did.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, latebit's just swimming about here.
Finally picking up his first sword. And not entirely happy about it.
Yeah, he could have had that a little while ago if he had just been ready to take his swimming lessons.
Yeah. And nothing in CAC well either, so that is...
Yeah, a bunch of junk.
We'll show him though what is on Pyramid Ledge. I don't think we have seen any of our runners there yet. And that is just the Archer game sitting inside of Palace. There's Biggie to Thieves Town actually sitting on the Pyramid Ledge. 3 more locations here with the Mire from Pyramid. Bike being one of them. Unfortunately, Soyhr doesn't have that cape. So we're not able to check the middle one. It is funny that that one who has the keys for Mire was not the one that found Mire.
Yeah, the game is funny like that sometimes.
Okay, so it's gonna be pod area check or catfish area check. It is a catfish area. For Soyhr, we have already seen what it is. And nope, he's turning around. I think that pod is more important this time around, which is fair enough.
Yeah, there are more entrances over here. You have a few more chances to find things that you're looking for.
Yeah.
The difference, of course, is that Catfish is a guaranteed item. Now, it may not be a good one, but it is going to hand you something.
Yeah. A dark chapel there in Dark Hustle House. Well, we have a Gina cave there at the Dark 5 warp. There is a Desert Small cave. That is a good find.
Yeah, it does enable a couple of checks. I don't think Soyhr has seen that dungeon yet, but latebit has.
What I know, I don't think Soyhr has said it in there yet. But there we go, latebit now checking around this part of Skullwoods. So we're gonna learn what is in this big chest. There's a compass this time around, unfortunately. And oh, Thieves Town is at pod. This is good for Soyhr.
Yeah, Soyhr has all of the keys for this, but not the hammer. So it's logical for him to clear it, and the hammer could be behind something that he finds here, technically.
Yep. That is not the way you can get back in there, latebit. You have to go the other way around. Okay, nothing in the front of Thieves Town, so he's gonna have to head to the back to see if he finds anything there.
And this seems like a classic entrance randomizer seed where an hour in, neither of our runners have any dungeons done yet. They've dipped a few of them.
Yeah. It might be that they either don't have the item required or the big key for it, so...
It's going to change here in the next couple of minutes because Sawyer's going to get the blind clear. And we do know that this is a crystal dungeon, so it'll even be first crystal on the board.
Mm-hmm. Nothing on Graveyard Ledge either. But as I said, as it has been 1 hour, well, let's just take us a little bit of time to thank our runners. They are we are thankful for them. Okay, let me redo that. Thanks so much to our runners for being willing to be restreamed here for our entertainment. And we also want to thank Pixlar Iber for being our tracker today, making me and them look at least a little bit competent. And thanks so much to my co-commentator. That commentary link is a little bit broken, so don't mind that one too much.
I think that one might be set from the 1 p.m. game, and the runners weren't set at all. The runners were set to Apathy Duck, who is not in this match.
I don't even think he's even in this race at all. No, I don't see him on the list either. So yeah. But yeah, Soyhr did a very nice fight there. There is the hammer, actually.
Okay, so you are any rando runner ever, and you get a hammer off of blind. You go right back in and you check the big chest, right?
Oh no, absolutely not. There are way more important stuff to do. Like ice pallets. Nah, he's gonna go in and check it. Which is fair enough.
Yeah, Ice Palace is a good check. We've got all of those hammer-locked things in Village of Outcasts. And then wherever Spike Cave was.
Yep. That was one that I forgot to mark on my tracker here where it was, so I'm gonna have to wait and see when that comes back around.
Yeah, somebody will get there eventually. It'll be fine.
Yeah. latebit actually has to be a little bit careful, only down to 1 heart here trying to navigate through Dark World. He's gonna head over to Pyramid and get his big key to Thieves Town.
That was a terrifying dash stop on that previous screen, by the way. I was just waiting for that bag of plantains to hop right on top of him and end his run.
Yeah, absolutely. I am always scared whenever I try to do the bomb dupe with those enemies there.
All right, 10 sticks in the Thieves Town big chest. Not worth going back in for, aside from the peace of mind.
Yeah. And this is going to be big for latebit. He comes over here, and he does have the cape, so we'll be able to check what Aga Tower brings us today.
Yeah, he gets that Mire key, and you know he's thinking, why didn't I have that 10 minutes ago? That would have been convenient 10 minutes ago. It doesn't help me now.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately.
And that is just Fortune Teller there behind the cape and or Master Sword.
Yeah. That is where it was. That was what Spike Cave was.
Yeah, on top of the castle.
The Soyhr is gonna check Dark Ice Rod. We have already seen this from latebit. He's gonna invest some money here. Which is fair enough. He has already done Soyhr, so why not dump some economy into the need of the people? We are in a war after all, so every little bit of money to the healers are always appreciated. Soyhr is picking up that red cane.
Yeah, between latebit earlier without the mirror and Soyhr now with the mirror, you see the difference in thought process. This is, well, I can pretty much go wherever I want, and now it's just a safety because I have the mirror. I can leave whenever I want.
Yeah. Yeah, latebit is also gonna find Thieves Town. It's not too much of a difference between when our runners got hammer, which is fair enough. And one thing that have saved latebit in this race was the fact that it took some time before Soyhr got that pearl, compared to the time that Soyhr had over latebit in boots. Now, could you just take a death at the start of Thieves Town, so you don't have to get it in the hard hallway?
Yeah, I feel like right there at chest 2 would have been a pretty good time to just go ahead and take that hit if you were planning to take it at all.
Yeah. Oh, so we barely missed the offerings. Well, he got powder. Well, Soyhr got powder at least, so nice little safety. And to be fair, we could see latebit using that item as well in that hallway on the anti-fairy there, so, or in the room before even. Nope. That's fair. He has cape. He can just dash through it all and skip it. There's half magic for Soyhr.
Yeah, that's one of those items that latebit has had for a little while now. He's been putting it to pretty good use.
Yeah, he has. And there we have the second entrance of Spectacle Rock.
And Sawyer's going to go ahead and use this as a connector.
Yeah, why not?
I would have been really tempted to powder that anti-fairy on the way back through, and latebit says no.
Yeah. Yeah, we already seen this. We saw this from latebit earlier, so. Really give him a Spiral Cave though.
Yeah, I feel like if you were willing to spend the time to lift both of those skull pots for hearts, you were better off just powdering that anti-fairy and being done with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Because then you're at almost full health instead of at 4.
I think it's 5 here.
Yeah, and I don't think it actually turned out... It was time neutral at best, I would think.
Yeah. Yeah, Sophie's gonna say no to Mire. Probably waiting for big key before heading in there.
Yeah, when you've already got all of the other things for it, it's pretty easy to say, you know what, I'm going to hold off on this just a little while longer. Especially now that he's got this hammer and he can go fish out the left side of the G. Speaking of the hammer, there's the hammer for latebit. Not particularly happy with that hammer location, as he should not be.
I don't think a lot of runners would be that.
No, I suspect there is going to be a lot of disparagement of that hammer location in the thread for this particular race afterwards.
Yeah. It also goes to say, yeah, nice monster. So by the way, yeah, the only time really that hammer can be at that location is when it comes. It can be that in a few door modes. The only time it can be there is if you're playing with key sanity. It's the only time where the hammer can be on the boss.
No, you just have to have access to the small key.
Oh, he's considering.
He's thinking about opening Double Firebar Room, and now he realizes that while he may not want to open Double Firebar Room, he still has to change the direction of the switch.
Yeah. He's going to use his bombs for it. I can understand it. It is either Double Firebar Room or the getting a random room, and one of them is particularly easier to get back to. Just wait, and we are probably just for funds is gonna get a small key to GT in here. A desert north is nothing, and Sandcart sitting in random room.
Sandcart may have been the best thing sitting in random room.
Yeah. Ooh, Ice Rod.
Okay, Ice Rod's pretty good. We've got a red crystal sitting in Turtle Rock.
We do have the big key, and we also know what Laser Breeze is, so yeah, that is one that they can get now.
Seems like Soyhr is going to go ahead and loop back around the mountain and get to Mire here.
I think this is more checking what Hera entrance is.
Yeah, he can also check Hera this way.
Oh,
look,
both of them are in Turtle Rock.
Suddenly, everybody's in Turtle Rock.
It's funny how that happens. We could potentially see a high five. latebit has all of his keys, so could just go that way around. And there we have another sword. Nothing in the lava cest.
That's interesting with just how accessible the game made all these keys. That is a place for that, I guess.
Yeah.
Keys to Skullwoods. We're trying to put the boss in logic there, which is fine.
Yeah. Okay, we are gonna get a high five from our runners here, finally. And there we have the high five. Yeah, Bugnet was also discovered there in Change from Room as well. It gives them another defensive use. Now, are we gonna see Soyhr using Mire after getting? Oh, okay. He almost forgot about
He almost
first test. Yeah, are we gonna see him use mirror or check where the main entrance of Dark Rock is? That is a question.
Yeah, that's a good question. What he's discovered is a relatively easy way to go back and check the Crystal Roller Room, so it looks like he wants to go ahead and go out the front.
Yeah. Alright. To be fair, we do know where Third Laser Base is, so... He doesn't have Quake though, so we'll not be able to do that way back. He does have a small key to desert, so we'll be able to head in there and get the items if you wanted. He's gonna do that. Oh, there we have one of the mirror ones gone.
There was that Hyrule Castle small key to put the GT big and what, also the TR big, I think, in Logic?
Yeah. Fair enough. Nothing under the rocking desert. The Ice Palace time for latebit.
At long last, Ice Palace. I've got everything you need to clear this dungeon, so let's see what's going on.
Yep. Yeah, so for also picking up that bombos. So also picking up the ice, so that was probably why he didn't mirror. Interesting save and quit there. Yeah, so for completely disregarding the small key to desert then.
No, he already used it.
Oh, okay.
That's where you got that Hyrule Castle small.
Ah, gotcha.
Meanwhile, latebit's finding a lot of junk items here in Ice Palace. Hopefully this turns around for him.
Yep.
But it's been low denominations of cash and junk dungeon items. All the kinds of things that you don't really want to find when you have over 1,200 rupees.
Yeah. Alright, we're gonna see Crystal Roller from Soyhr, and then we're gonna see Trinex. Different pivots for our runners. Oh, wonderful. The Ice Palace map sitting in Ice Palace.
Yeah, at least now latebit knows that he's going to kill this boss for a purpose. This does have a crystal attached to it.
Yeah. Which means that it is either Desert or Pod or Skullwoods that's gonna be our pendant. Latebit recognizes that he has powder now, can actually use it to get some more hearts compared to earlier.
Yeah, not only did he choose to use the powder there, he almost noped out of iced tea entirely. And that has the book, so the potential additional value.
Yeah.
That could be important, tough to say.
Yeah, there's a sense that one of our big keys are there. I don't know about you, but in my experience, whenever you do key sanity, there's a high chance that there's a key on Ped.
Yeah, it doesn't always have to be a required key, but just given how many keys there are, it tends to be fairly common. Solid Phase 2 Trinex fight from Soyhr there.
Yeah. Oh my god, 2 swords in Tartarok.
Nice beam dupes of those fire rod shots on the cold stare shell for latebit, leaving himself plenty of magic to just fire rod down the puffs.
Yep. Or an even medallion from the puffs.
Yeah, that's the last outstanding medallion. Latebit has the entire coin collection.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we're gonna see Soyhr heading to the last entrances we haven't seen yet. I believe this over here on the Dark Death Mountain right side is the only, yeah, we haven't seen Tartarok entrance. I haven't seen the light version of this place either. So potential that we can find Dam over here. This is gonna be the gamble on Mothla having a crystal.
Yeah, it's tough to know in advance, but it's reasonably on the way to things that Soyhr was planning to do anyway, it looks like.
Yeah. Oh, latebit discovers a way to purple chest. Gonna check one of the ammo requirements here. It's just a shop. And that is gonna be a crystal for Soyhr, increasing his crystal count to 3.
So our last pendant is now between Pod and Desert?
Yep. And it is Quake for Tartarok, so that is one entrance that we can check.
Yeah, latebit will get up there sooner or later. Soyhr, meanwhile, is going to have to find that medallion, potentially.
Ooh, he's gambling Mire here. Doesn't have the big key, so this is a gamble for him. I would have checked the other 2 entrances first before doing this. Disregarding Top Paradox and the Tartarok entrance. Oh yeah, he doesn't have Quake yet. My bad.
Bombos tablet rather, holding on to the shovel for us. At least it's relatively close to the turn-in point.
Yeah. Oh, there's our loss. That was another shield, yeah. I forgot that latebit had gotten that for a moment. Okay, from one fetch quest item to another. Time to dig. And we are increasing... latebit is increasing his monopoly amount.
Yeah, once it reads 4 digits, does it even matter?
That is a good question. Someone should send Robin Hood after him. He has way too much money on him. Oh, Desert is a pendant.
Interesting, with the big key and the small key as accessible as they were, we're still on the lookout for a pod big.
Yeah.
So we're going to need Eastern Big, Pod Big, and Misery Mire Big is what it looks like.
Yep. Okay, just a 5er from Aoife Tablet.
All right, Soyhr grabbing that other bow, so that's silvers for him.
Yeah.
And here's latebit with that quake up at Turtle Rock. We'll find out what's here.
Well, one of the entrances we're looking for is Dam, so maybe that. No, that's gonna be King's Tomb.
With 20 bucks, so yeah, all things considered, Soyhr could theoretically save some time by not finding Quake and not going there.
Yeah.
And our tracker is catching us again. Apparently the dam is at Hammer Pegs.
Ah, alright, gotcha. I'm mainly be checking on Sophie's perspective in this way, so. I also seen that whenever I have checked something, I'm missing something on the other. As I said, our track is making us at least look like a little bit competent.
Yeah, latebit's going to go ahead and make this play to Lamoth. Going to be rewarded with the crystal, of course. But it looks like both of our runners are, by and large, looking for the same kinds of things.
Yeah.
Gonna need a handful of big keys to get through this.
Mm-hmm. This is starting to look more and more like a ped seed to me. Sick kid has been checked. We haven't seen bats yet, so.
Yeah, Dark Bonk Rocks there has Mire Shack, 2 items that were not particularly helpful. It's time for Pendant Hera from Soyhr. He's going to go ahead and get his cape.
Makes sense.
Because this was something that latebit saw quite a while ago now. Got this potion, got the cape, and then said no moss. Even though it was logical at the time.
He didn't have a weapon for him at the time.
He didn't have a weapon for the boss, but he chose not to do either the big chest or the compass chest on that same floor either. So these are the 2 checks that I'm actually really interested in. The boss, less so.
Yeah. I do believe there's a high sense that this is a ped seed though. We are starting to run out of other locations. The other ones.
Yeah, alright, and nothing on that floor, so yeah, the latebit's choice not to go up there at the time seems to have worked out for him.
Yeah. Getting the return the second time and the second dip into the 4 latebit.
Yeah, that's the Tower of Hera pendant on the board for Soyhr, but yeah, not a whole lot interesting coming out of that play. The only interesting items are the ones we'd already seen from latebit's side.
Yep.
Oh, of course, there's a small key to this dungeon in Palace of Darkness. That never happens.
Yeah, definitely not.
And here pretty shortly, we ought to see from latebit something that Soyhr missed because he didn't have the lamp at the time and got killed by a Kodongo in the dark. The top chest of Dark Maze is sitting there as an unchecked check.
Yeah, that can be important.
And Soyhr has acquired that Quake now.
Yeah. Fortunately, latebit will also have to skip out on the big test. There is an Ice Palace Mall. Fortunately, he has already gone through that. And there's a good boomerang.
Soyhr not going to be punished by that as long as he's not a particular Blue Boom fan.
Yeah.
So that's the entirety of Pod from latebit, aside from the big key locked locations, and yeah, still nothing. Your prediction of Pedestal Seed seems to be becoming more and more true as we go.
Yeah.
I suspect we're going to see latebit diving into Swamp here fairly shortly.
Yeah, probably. And there we have the map to Pod sitting behind the bat.
Ah, okay, of course. latebit's going to go ahead and take care of Trinex really quick first.
Yeah, absolutely. Gonna get his tempered sword from that. Doesn't want to use powder here either. He has Master Sword, so the fight is fine, but something could still very well go wrong, so should have just used powder there.
At worst, I feel like he's got a red potion sitting around.
Hopefully. A good first phase for him, and we get bomb strats on the Penguinators from Soyhr. Very well done.
Yeah, very nice looking bomb strat there.
That one is
hammer
not
phase
easy
two
to
Trinex.
execute. The other one is way easier to do.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people swapping over to a primarily hookshot strat in that room, but I don't feel like it's any faster than the bomb strat, and the bomb strat looks really cool.
Yeah.
It's difficult to get me to change away from a strat that is both fast and neat looking.
Yeah. Yeah, however, we do often see spin strats when it comes to those ones, so the spin strat is the easiest one to do there. And we are seeing the return to latebit into GT as well now. We are still missing one key, so we'll probably not get double firebar yet. He might do the climb though, if we decide that this is the time we're gonna heavy invest into this area.
Yeah, given that he's not really gonna find anything else here that we know that is still outstanding, I wouldn't be at all surprised to see the climb happen.
Yeah.
Given that it's 4 items and then 9 more behind it. Now, they're all junk, but he doesn't know that yet.
Exactly. Oh, he is checking it. And a piece of heart, so he's gonna have completely cleared the GT.
Those red Bari's just not playing nice with Soyhr there.
Yeah. So you're dropping down into the puffs now.
One of them thought it was getting away, but that's not really going to work.
Yeah.
That is the coin collection for Soyhr.
Yeah. It is. Yeah, time for Swamp Palace for late bit. Right, 9 checks that he can get in here. He's starting with the yet another green bottle. I'm starting off with that pod big key.
Yeah, there's one of those big keys we've been looking for a little while now.
Yeah. Only 2 more missing.
Mire and Eastern to go.
Alright, was able to do the spectre clip.
Oh, interesting. He's going to skip Southern Loop entirely and just rush the back.
Might be hoping that the big key to Swamp is back here, or he's rushing Ped. Alright, so you're just doing the Smiths.
Small key for GT. There's our logics there.
Oh, one of our chatters has done the math and seems like it's contradicting what we have said about the second Penguinators. Yeah, Argus down for late bit. There's another big key. Mire!
All right, that one goes to Mire, and we've got a green pendant. There are technically 4, but 3 checks that latebit could still do in Swamp if he wants to dive back in. But I feel like you've pulled 2 big keys. It's time to go clear those dungeons.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so we're heading over to digging game. And this definitely feels like it is one of those ones where Soyhr is just a little bit behind. And wonderful, a map to Skullwoods. I wouldn't be surprised if that was a map to Swamp. The lore in this one is Shashla being the sage of Swamp.
Yeah, I think the problem from Sawyer's perspective is that he just hasn't landed on the dam yet. And he's in the right area.
Yeah,
But
that is at
without
least...
that, he can't go to Swamp, which is where basically everything else is.
Yeah, that is positive. Positive that he's in there. However, he's moving away from it.
Well, now he's backtracking.
Yeah. He changed his mind. Okay. I like this from latebit, checking the boss first to see if that is where the big key is. Probably heading in after to check if the big chest has the Eastern big. And getting some nice hammer dashes.
Sawyer tying up the heart count, but more importantly, he manages to unflood that floodgate, so now he can get into Swamp Palace and get those 2 big keys.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's gonna take that purposes with him as well. 10 Mazor. Do you have our go mode for us? The answer is no. It is a small key to GT. The final small key of GT.
And as you had surmised, he's going to go back in and check the big chest before he leaves and heads to Mire.
And for that one though, he's probably doing the big chest first before doing the boss.
Yeah, you almost have to. There's not really a way to save time by not, because you go right by that door to go to big chest, essentially right after you come down the stairs from Mire 2.
Yeah. And that is a compass for Hera. So it is not there, so off to Mire then. We have an easy way to get there as well. We're gonna see Soyhr checking that dig spot.
Unlike latebit, Soyhr has reached the point where he's no longer willing to get the money.
I'm not surprised by that. He's not gonna be Scrooge McDuck in this one compared to latebit. He's gonna check Ice Pedestal. Alright, nothing on the big chest, so it is gonna have to be boss. Otherwise, we might have to hard pivot into Ped.
I have to assume that we've seen DP north at this point.
I believe we have. I don't think I marked it though. Yeah, I didn't mark it, unfortunately.
Well, if the Eastern Palace Big Key is not here on Vitreous, we're probably going to find out in fairly short order.
Yeah. Yeah, so if we're getting their last entrances checked. And getting dead rocked on the way as well. Which one is which strat is your favorite one when it comes to victories?
I'm not really against that cape up and dash strat. If you've got at least tempered sword, the vanilla NMG strats work just fine.
Yeah. Yeah, the dash strats or the just sitting with the cape and just spamming away. Both of them are pretty nice. Hey, look at that flute though from Victorious. Feels like that is a little bit
flute.
Yeah, a little bit too late for that one. And this is going to be a climb for latebit. Does not want to think about the pedestal.
Yeah, this is some of the time that Soyhr needed back in this race because he did all of this earlier, and we know, and you out there in viewerland know that nothing is going to come from this for latebit. But yeah, now he's going to spend the time too.
This is gonna be a swamp check for Soyhr. This is some much needed time for Soyhr to catch up, definitely. We might see some more checks from him in here though, because he doesn't have anything else after this. So he might play a little bit defensive and check at least Compass Room. We hope to. Just because of knowledge, I'm hoping that we get to see left side as well. And the bomb was a little bit placed too far to the right there for Specky Clip to work. Oh, sorry, to the left. Right, comp assist. We're gonna see something new. Just a final small key to Ice Palace though.
That was a very unique way to do torches too.
Yeah, I have not seen that being done that way.
All right, now latebit gets his choice of rangs.
Yep. Yeah,
And of course he's going to make the proper choice, the iron one, the one that's attached to a chain.
Yeah.
There is only one best boomerang, and it is the iron boomerang. Change my mind.
Yeah. Travel to any university and do that. That would be fun to see. The students have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, Leipzig was so close to getting a triple there, but only got a double though.
Looks like it's going to go 2-2-1-1 for both of them.
Yeah. The only difference is that Leipzig got it one cycle earlier.
Looks like Soyhr has also decided against left side swamp.
Yeah.
It's really tough to go back in there when you've gotten two big keys. They go to 2 crystal dungeons. Both of those have 2 items in them. And they're generally speaking more on the way than going back in for left side swamp.
Mm-hmm. They are. Alright, we have passed the 2-hour mark now, so if you guys haven't, make sure to drink some water. They are very warm all over the globe at the moment, so make sure to get those H2Os in.
All right, latebit, what is the play?
This might just be us running up and checking what ped is. We have a book, so why not just use it to see?
At that point, I would have been tempted to activate the flute if I was running right by anyway, because you're probably not staying right at ped no matter what.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, you're pretty deep in the siege. You're not going to get a whole lot of value out of it.
If you have to travel back to ped, you definitely want to have that activated though. Oh, the beacon! Whoa!
Okay,
that
game.
is evil! Oh my god!
And see, now you're coming back to ped. You kind of wish you had an activated flute so that you could flute to 3.
Yeah. You know what, Pixar? I wouldn't put it past it at this point. He's activating it. Makes sense. Yeah, Soyhr is checking the big cess before doing the boss.
Yeah, and that makes some sense for him because he also had that top chest in Dark Maze outstanding.
Yeah. Alright, Mimic Cave for latebit. There are a few of these one-shots here and there. I don't think we have seen Spiky, right?
I don't think so.
I mean, we have seen Spiky, but we haven't gotten the item there yet.
Yeah, that's the one that's up on top right, Hyrule Castle.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've both seen it, but I don't think either of them had the hammer at the time.
We're gonna see Bat Cave for latebit.
And that's Helmasaur King in the books for Soyhr.
Yeah. The latebit decides to do the gamble and checking if the big key was actually in Eastern.
Yeah, the time-honored tradition. Okay, it's been 2 hours. I still haven't touched this dungeon. Its key is probably just in it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, our tracker has just typed out which locations are left for if we combined our runners. Spy Cave, Less Side Swamp, and Ped. Those are quite evil locations. Makes sense why they are the last ones that's gonna be checked. But at least latebit is gonna have the silvers once he decides to do once it's time for Armos Knights. And against Ganon, of course. So you're not gonna have any difference in the weaponry against them.
All right, one
Right.
big chest, one vanilla big key location. We've seen both of them already from the other runner.
Yeah.
I'd kind of forgotten that Mire Small was there. That's kind of kind of amusing given that Soyhr is in Mire right now.
Yeah. I saw you got that smoky early. It's gonna be the 5-6 sec now for latebit. makes sense with him having a flute.
Latebit going the pacifist route, allowing the Murderdactyl to live, even though he was already on the hookshot.
Yeah. This is gonna be the final entrance that I haven't seen yet. Well, just in front of you, Pixel. Here you have Desert North.
Alright, Pendant Land Molas.
Kind of beat silver strats against them, which is understandable. There's a 20 rupee, and there we have a final pendant. Time to go and get that big key for Swamp.
Well, between the two runners we do, remember, Latebit never actually cleared out Tower of Hera.
Yeah, that's true. But at this point, now that he have gotten that pendant, I don't think it's gonna take too long for him to get the other one.
Looks like Soyr's immediately going to activate this flute. And you were right. Latebit immediately over to Tower of Hera. There's not a whole lot left for him. At least nothing he likes.
Yeah. It is a blessing. It is my blessing that our runner has not gotten the small key to Hera.
It has to be kicking around somewhere.
Yeah. Can't be too far away from us at this point. And so we're heading back and checking the double fireball room.
Yeah, we already knew from Latebit, not the double firebar room. Let's see if Latebit's just going to go ahead and rush Ped here. He absolutely can at this point.
Yeah, why wouldn't he? He has already decided to gamble on this. It feels like once he decided to do Pivot Bomb for the final to get the Desert North, it must have been gambling on a big key to Swamp. Otherwise, he would have gone and done left side Swamp earlier.
Speaking of left side swamp, we have Soyhr back in Swamp Palace.
Yeah. And there it is. Big key to swamp. Okay, we have a total of 3 bombs being invested into blowing up the pedestal. Yet it still
I'm
stands.
surprised he didn't light off bombos too.
Yeah, why not? It might be that he wants to have a good placement to get more points for his team.
Okay, and we've got both of our runners in Swamp Palace.
Yeah. One of them hoping on big key, while the other one just hope for left side. Right, this is gonna be the determining factor here. One of them went for pedestal, the other one just went for left side. First one on left side, a small key to Tower of Hera. And the other one, the big hit to Eastern. Soyhr has taken the lead. And the final Mire key being awarded to latebit for doing ped. And Soyhr has arrived in Eastern Palace.
Yet these two runners did pretty wildly different things throughout the vast majority of this, and it's going to come down to the fact that Soyhr got back to left side swamp just a little earlier than latebit did.
Yeah. Yeah. As I said, one of them did the ped gamble, while the other one didn't, and that is what made the difference in this one. The ceremony continues. The blue link, which is the one that was setting up the restream for us, getting some deja vu vibes of this seed.
Yeah, Rando does like to rhyme every once in a while, doesn't it?
He certainly likes the boogie.
Is it in Company B?
Maybe. And there we go. Armos is down for Soyhr. He only has the pig left.
Opening the big chest to Eastern Palace just because.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, for the past 2 hours, 17 minutes, and 25 seconds, this pig has been terrorizing the village of Kakariko, and now Soyhr is going to come in with a butter sword and silver arrows and 17 hearts red mail. and half magic and the entire bottles, the full coin collection. He's got basically everything.
Yeah, I'm surprised Ganon is not calling out the OP of our runner here. Yeah, setting up the torch glitch.
It looked like he got a pretty good position off of that torch glitch to grab a double and just decided not to take it.
Yeah, was a little bit too slow. Latebit has also finished off Armos Knight on his way, but Soyhr is gonna be the first runner on the restream here, finishing this off. He only has to cross the most dangerous gap in the entire game. Yeah, there he comes in at 2 hours, 80 minutes and 45 seconds. That's earned him a 20th place in this race.
Yeah, if anybody's had the race room open, the first place finisher for Ganons Forces was Telethar back at 1 hour and 48 minutes. Just absolutely smoked this seed.
Yeah.
Everybody else, the people at the line of normalcy who just happened to hit the route reasonably well and execute reasonably well, were in the high 150s. But yeah, Telethar crushed this thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I did say that there were a lot of more Hyrule Guards that were in this race. However, this victory is definitely going to Ganons Forces. Top, first place, second place, third place, so 8th place, 9th place were all Ganons Forces. Adi was coming second, Humbug coming third. The AL with them all of them being within 2 minutes of each, 1.5 minutes of each other. The 157.35, 158.57, and 159.05, respectively. And the last one that finished with a sub 2 was Hyrule. So congratulations to him as well. As latebit has also finished now with a time of 2 hours, 20 minutes and 13 seconds. He's gonna be perhaps joining us here momentarily, but in the meantime, Soyhr, welcome to the commentary booth. GG.
GG's. Hello. Let me show everybody exactly where every item is in this entire seed. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, you and latebit both. He even pulled the big bomb over to Desert North.
Oh, I had a feeling that was there, but I mean, who thinks there's 3 keys in Swamp? Come on.
Telethar, apparently.
Yeah, Telethar. Well, Telethar is a genius, so I mean...
Yeah, latebit has now also joined us. GG, dude.
Of course it's left side swamp. Why wouldn't it be left side
Why would
swamp?
it not be?
GG stinky game. 3 big keys in Swamp was my go mode. Unfortunately, I didn't get the 3rd one for like 20 minutes.
I wish I could say the same. It took me a lot longer than 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you went for the ped play.
Yeah, once Pod didn't have it and Mire didn't have it, I said, you know, this is over. I'm just gonna go for some memes and try to be entertaining. So
it didn't help you that the big key was on the big key to Swamp was on ped.
Oh
yeah, yeah. Once I saw that, I decided that's the last place I'm going because I'm gonna do it all at once just for the memes, you know. I'm gonna find Desert. I'm gonna do that. Do Hera. Go grab my big key, and then finally go back to Swamp.
Yeah. Yes, it feels like the Swamp even tried to bait you guys away from it with that small key to Hera next to the big key.
Ugh, that was disgusting. I was never going there ever. I would have tried .ff before I go to Hera basement, and I was like, no, I just want to be done.
Yeah. How about that hammer on blind, by the way?
Did you go back in? Because I went back in, being like,
no,
yeah,
no way.
I played this one like all over the place, and the only really good thing about this seed for me was getting boots at like 3 minutes.
Yeah, it took. Go ahead. Sorry.
There was a difference between you two because Soyhr, as I said, got boots very early, but then almost essentially last located Moon Pearl, which meant so that you, latebit, could get some time over him that way.
Yeah, considering I got boots like 51 minutes in, I needed to make up some time, and I guess that was probably the way I did it.
I honestly don't even remember where Moon Pearl was, so...
Paradox.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, with the one accessible entrance at Light Flute 5.
Yep.
Yeah, which I found early, but didn't have any kind of weaponry to get me through it, so it was a come back later situation, and went back a little later than I wanted to.
Yeah, I found the bottom entrance, the block entrance, before I found anything else there, so... it was still fun. I like cross keys. I think this might be my last War for Hyrule race, though, but it's definitely fun playing against your latebit. Always is.
Yeah, for sure. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, this is a good practice for the upcoming main tournament.
Yeah.
Aside from the part where they're going to ban hovering on you, Soyhr, I noticed you got more than 0 pixels on that attempt at the right side hovering pod there. Now, it wasn't much more than 0, but you got a handful.
Yeah, well, my fingers are cold, and I just trimmed nails, blah, 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 blah.
Mercury's in retrograde?
Yeah, something like that. I just started practicing not too long ago about it, and I thought maybe I could try, but obviously after one attempt I was like, I'm good, see ya.
Yeah, I can get the inputs some of the time, but I play on emulators, so even when I do, the USB inputs are just like, no, you're not hovering today.
Yeah, and then Hype Cave had like 6,000 things in it, even though there's only 5 checks, so I was like, oh, well, there goes all my chances. Oh,
yep.
Yeah,
right,
thank you both for putting on a great show. Any final words before we start wrapping this thing up?
Stinky game.
This game stinks.
Yep.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with your title you have there. There are currently 8 people still racing. You can head over to RaceAt if you want to check any of them out. Otherwise, looking at the SpeedGaming schedule going on right now over at SpeedGaming main, we have the No Logic race between Dot and Amarif. Amarif did very well in that No Logic Mentors tournament, so that is going to be a good match. Later on, in about 2.5 hours, aka after the No Logic race, there is the Zelda 1 randomizer rookie qualifier. So that could be cool. Otherwise, there's also the Super Mario Bros. 3 randomizer weekly race going on the SpeedGaming 2 later on tonight.
Yeah, and then tomorrow you can drop in on this family of channels. I don't think we have specific channels assigned yet, but the final 2 races in the War for Hyrule coming tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We have in Flukies, that 2022 main tournament mode that everybody loved, and then the admins of that tournament promptly got rid of. And then the ultimate race of the War for Hyrule, the event is going to end with AD Key Sanity. All dungeons Key Sanity, gotta do every single one of them. That's going to be 5 p.m. Eastern tomorrow afternoon. But until such time, Anglaze, it's been a pleasure. I had a blast. This was an interesting seed for sure. I hope everybody out there in Chatland was entertained. If you want to give us a couple of final words, I think we're going to wander on out the door.
Yeah, thanks everybody that put this together.